Good afternoon, this is Shaman Oracle reading, and this reading is for the sign of Sagittarius. And I'm closing up today the reading about the Divine Feminine to explain some cards a little bit more. Okay? So, the card that came up for Sagittarius is the Divine Feminine, Diana, Queen of the Wilderness. Diana is in the Roman mythology and religion the goddess of wild animals and the hunt, and she is identified with the Greek goddess Artemis. Like her Greek counterpart, she was also a goddess of domestic animals, and she is considered the patroness of the countryside, hunters, crossroads, and also the moon. Her father is Jupiter and her mother is Latona, and a twin brother of hers is Apollo. Diana is considered a virgin goddess and protector of childbirth. Historically, Diana made up a triad with two other Roman deities, one of which is Egeria, the water nymph, was also her servant and assistant midwife, and the other one is Virbius, the woodland god. Diana has been considered a triple deity, merging with a goddess of the moon called Luna or Selene, and the underworld, usually Hecate. The myth about Diana is that she was the twin sister of Apollo and goddess of the moon. Her symbol is a crescent moon sitting behind her in the sky. When Diana first saw the young shepherd Endymion sleeping in the shelter of a cave, she instantly fell in love with him, and quiet as possible she went in the moonlight and entered the cave and gently kissed his closed eyes. Diana was initially a hunting goddess of the local woodlands at Nemi, but as her worship spread, she took over other similar attributes of other goddesses. At one point, she was conflated with Artemis and so became a moon goddess. The symbols of Diana are the bow and the quiver, deer, hunting dogs, and the crescent moon. In Latin, her name means goddess of light and goddess of the moon. This may seem a contradiction, since Diana is seen as a goddess of the night and underworld, but Cicero explained it and said she was called Diana because she made it like day during the night. And while Diana is a triple goddess with many aspects, her connection to the moon is possibly more important to her identity than her hunting abilities. Diana represents the call to embody a more primal connection to the wilderness that exists within. Her twin brother Apollo is the god of the sun. The temple of Diana in Rome dates back to the 6th century BCE. She was the protectress and patroness of the lower class and slaves who could seek sanctuary in her temples. The temple to Diana in Ephesus, also attributed to the Greek goddess Artemis, was considered one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world. It took 220 years to build this temple, and the magnificent statue of Diana covered in breasts symbolizes her worship as a fertility goddess for women. Paul, in Acts of the Apostles in the New Testament, mentions Diana's temple. Since Diana had many followers, and she was seen as a threat to early Christianity. The most famous place to worship Diana was in the sacred grove of oak trees on the shore of Lake Nemi near Rome. Out in nature, connected to the earth and to the wild animals that roam freely across it, here she is the huntress with her golden bow and arrows. She is an independent, free-spirited goddess who stays in touch with the moon, the natural world, and all those who cannot speak for themselves. When this card comes up, you are reminded that answers are sometimes as simple and elemental as walking barefoot in the grass, or even better, in the mud. Tremendous powers lie in nature. We can communicate with trees, those ancient protectors and elders who speak to us with the help of the wind and the slow, soft caress touching our cheeks. Sometimes answers come from our basic desire to feel grounded here on earth. Diana is associated with fertility, the phases of the moon, and the ability to communicate with animals. She does not communicate with her human voice, but with a deep understanding of love and intention, opening up herself to connect with other beings. We don't have to be in the wilderness to access the wisdom of the natural world. The wilderness is within us and we are part of it. So say this: the language of the natural world is a frequency of love. This is my mother tongue. For Diana, the carnation is the sacred flower of the goddess of the hunt. So that reading was for you, Sagittarius. Thank you for being here. Thank you for listening. Have a wonderful Monday. And maybe I see you back next time with another reading for you. Goodbye.